"Daddy, why is she sleeping here?" asked the little girl, tugging gently on her father's sleeve. As they walked through the quiet park that chilly autumn evening, the golden leaves crunched beneath their shoes, and the man looked down to see what his daughter was pointing at. On the park bench, huddled against the cold, lay a young woman. Her face was pale, framed by long brown hair that looked like it hadn't seen a brush in days. A small, worn-out backpack rested against her knees. She looked fragile, as though the world had weighed too heavily on her shoulders. The man, Nicholas Hayes, a wealthy businessman known to the public as a ruthless millionaire, paused. Most people saw him as powerful, composed, and untouchable. But in that moment, seeing the woman's vulnerable state, something in his chest stirred. His daughter, Lily, only 7 years old, had the kind of innocence that could see what adults often ignore. "She's probably very tired, sweetheart," Nicholas answered softly. "But Dad," Lily insisted, her big blue eyes wide with concern. "It's too cold to sleep outside. Can we help her?" Nicholas looked at his daughter, her pleading expression melting away the hard armor he had built over the years since his wife's passing. He knew what loneliness was, and he knew the sting of being left behind. Without a second thought, he nodded. "All right," he said. "Let's see if she's okay." He approached the woman cautiously, crouching down near the bench. "Miss, are you all right?" His voice was calm but firm. The woman stirred, blinking against the dim park lights. Her eyes, green like the first touch of spring, fluttered open, revealing confusion and exhaustion. She sat up quickly, clutching her bag tightly, as if afraid he might take it. "I'm sorry," she whispered hoarsely. "I'll move. I didn't mean to cause trouble." "You're not causing trouble," Nicholas replied gently. "You just look like you need help." She shook her head, her lips trembling. "I'll be fine, really." But Lily stepped closer, her small hand reaching out. "You shouldn't sleep here. You'll get sick." The woman's eyes softened at the child's innocence. She swallowed hard, clearly fighting tears. "I don't have anywhere else to go." Nicholas felt a pang deep in his chest. Without giving himself time to overthink, he extended his hand. "Then come with us, at least for tonight. You can't stay out here." The woman hesitated, looking at him as though trying to measure his sincerity. For a moment, pride and fear battled inside her, but the warmth in his daughter's eyes and the firm kindness in his voice made her nod slowly. That evening, Nicholas brought her to his mansion. It wasn't just a house, it was an estate, filled with marble floors, sparkling chandeliers, and walls that often echoed with silence. For years, it had been just him and Lily living in luxury, but missing the warmth of family. The woman introduced herself as Emily. She spoke little during dinner, her eyes darting around the lavish dining room, clearly feeling out of place. She admitted that she had been struggling since losing her job, unable to pay rent, and had no family left to turn to. Nicholas listened quietly, noticing how she tried to remain composed, even as her hands shook while holding the spoon. Lily, on the other hand, chattered away, asking Emily about her favorite colors, foods, and stories. Emily smiled faintly, her guarded demeanor softening in the presence of the little girl's innocent curiosity. After dinner, Nicholas offered her the guest room. Emily looked overwhelmed by the sight of the soft bed, the warm lighting, and the comfort she hadn't felt in weeks. She whispered, "Thank you," her voice breaking with gratitude. Over the following days, what began as a temporary arrangement slowly turned into something more. Nicholas found himself drawn to Emily's quiet strength, the way she never complained, despite her struggles, and the gentle way she interacted with Lily. He started helping around the house, cooking simple meals, folding laundry, even reading bedtime stories to Lily when Nicholas worked late. Lily adored her. One evening, while Nicholas tucked his daughter in, she whispered, "Daddy, can Emily stay with us forever?" Nicholas's heart skipped a beat. He didn't answer, only kissed his daughter's forehead and turned off the light. But the thought lingered long after he left her room. Nicholas was a man who built walls around his heart after his wife's passing. Business had become his escape, and money his shield. But Emily, with her quiet presence, was slowly dismantling those walls without even trying. He caught himself watching her sometimes when she laughed softly at Lily's jokes, when she tied her hair back while cooking, or when she stood by the window, lost in thought, the moonlight painting her features with a fragile glow. One rainy evening, Nicholas found her in the kitchen, brewing tea. She looked up at him, startled. "Sorry, I should ask before using your things." He shook his head. "It's your home now too, Emily." She froze, the words catching her off guard. I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," he said firmly. "You've brought life back into this house. Lily hasn't been this happy in years." His voice grew softer. "Neither have I." For a moment, silence hung between them, heavy with unspoken feelings. Emily lowered her gaze, her cheeks warming. Nicholas took a step closer, his heart beating faster than it had in years. But before he could say more, Lily came running into the room, excited about a drawing she had made. The moment passed, but the tension lingered in the air. As weeks turned into months, their bond deepened. Nicholas admired Emily's resilience and kindness, while Emily began to see past the cold exterior of the millionaire everyone feared. She discovered the devoted father, the man who read bedtime stories in funny voices, who always made time for his daughter despite his demanding career, and who carried a quiet sadness in his heart. It was Lily who finally pushed them closer. One snowy afternoon, as they decorated the Christmas tree together, Lily hung an ornament and looked at Emily with wide eyes. "Emily, will you be my mommy?" she asked innocently. The room fell silent. Emily's breath caught, tears welling in her eyes. She knelt down, hugging Lily tightly. "Oh, sweetheart, you already feel like family to me." Nicholas's chest tightened. He had avoided confronting his feelings, but in that moment, he knew. He didn't just want Emily to stay, he needed her. That night, after Lily was asleep, Nicholas found Emily in the garden, standing under the softly falling snow. He approached her, his breath visible in the cold air. "Emily," he began, his voice low but steady. "When I found you that night, I thought I was helping someone in need, but I realize now, you've been the one saving me." She turned to him, her green eyes glistening. "Nicholas." He stepped closer, gently brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I don't want this to end. Stay. Not just for Lily, but for me." He hesitated, a vulnerability in his eyes she hadn't seen before. "I think I'm falling in love with you." Emily's breath hitched. Her heart, scarred from hardship, felt something it hadn't in years. Hope. Tears slipped down her cheeks, but this time, they were born of joy. "I never thought I'd find a place where I belong again. But with you, with Lily, I feel home." Nicholas cupped her face gently, his thumb brushing away her tears, and leaned in. Their lips met in a kiss that was soft, yet filled with all the unspoken promises of a new beginning. From that night onward, everything changed. Emily became not just a guest, but a partner, a mother figure, and the missing piece Nicholas hadn't realized he'd been searching for. Together, they built not just a home, but a family, one bound not by wealth or circumstance, but by love. And every so often, when Lily would curl up between them on the couch, her small voice would remind them of the moment everything began. "Daddy, why is she sleeping here?" she had asked. And from that simple question bloomed a love story that healed 3 hearts at once.